So, guys, very good evening. This is Piyush Khandelwal from Geeks for Geeks, and I welcome you all to our channel. And today we all have collected here together for a very interesting stream, right? And we have a very special guest with us also who will be giving you certain guidance, right, about how, like, why you should start programming at very young age, right? Is it like which is the right age to start programming, and whether you should make your career to programming, or are there different alternatives also present, right? So we have example right with us, with who will be sharing. Mr. Pratham will be sharing his experiences, right? How he has what has been his learning path, how he has learned programming. तो कुछ ना उनके एक्सपीरियंसेस से वी शुड बी लर्निंग, कुछ सीखने की कोशिश करते हैं, कुछ समझने की कोशिश करते हैं, और कुछ उनसे बात करते हैं, और बट इट इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. आई कैन प्रॉमिस यू दिस, राइट? लेट मी कॉल प्रथम फर्स्ट. सो hey Pratham, how's you?
Hi, Piyush. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely clear.
Oh,
So Pratham,
perfect. So, yeah, I'm doing good. Uh, Thanks for
okay,
asking. Yeah.
okay. So I just want you, like, I know about you, right? But I want you to tell
Mhm.
about yourself to our viewers so that they may know that what experience do you have, like how you have been into programming, right? थोड़ा सा technical introduction आपका अगर हो जाए.
Yeah. So, hey everyone. My name is Pratham, and I'm currently 17 years old, and I am in high school right now. And yeah, I'm a self-taught programmer, and I program in Python and JavaScript, and I'm mainly interested in machine learning and other things like Linux and uh, Android kernels and that sort of thing. So, but yeah, I'm like I've just had a fascination for technology since I was very young, and yeah, I just love to code and just solve problems. That's mainly it.
That's really great, right? When you talk about, when you're saying you're doing Python, JavaScript, Android development, right? So it's kind of multitasking kind of thing, where you have been into application developments, you have been into Android development, right? So generally, Pratham, what happens is students, like, as you told that your age is 17, right? At the age of 17,
Yeah, yeah.
students does not even decide like what they have to do, like whether they should go for engineering, they should go for some other, like that this type, this age is very confusing age, right? They don't know what
Mhm.
which path to select, right? So what developed your interest, like how do you figured out that programming should be your domain, and how you actually started this journey, right? How what kept you motivating to be a part of this journey as well?
So it's mainly just interest and passion. Because I like working with technology and computers and that sort of thing, which is why I spent so much time onto it. So I think in 2015, my mom put me in some coding workshop for a couple of days, and there I got to know that uh you can use Python to do things like robotics and stuff like that. So Python looked like a really cool programming language, and so that was very interesting. So that ignited my interest even more, and I was always interested in just playing around with computers and games and stuff like that. So I naturally had a passion for that. So I just kept exploring things on my own. So I came across machine learning, of course, but and web development and whatnot. So I got to know that you can make websites using these programming languages, or make whatever you like. So that the thing about just exploring and building things really, I guess, motivated me. So, and yeah, that's mainly my I'm so why I'm into programming in the first place. So, and other than that, so like recently I just got my new Android smartphone. So I was tinkering around with that. So for that I had to learn some C++ and uh, some Android related things. So how to optimize the phone and stuff like that. So uh, that is just so it's just mostly out of curiosity and just passion that I have, that kept me into programming.
Okay. So it's kind of a passion and a plus a starting point, right? Because if you listen to Pratham, like mom told him to like some coding workshop, right? And
Mhm.
where he figured
Yeah,
out
yeah.
that this is quite interesting, and then he started exploring thing on his own. So there need to be a starting point, right? And one another thing is, which I can figure out is Pratham started with Python. So man, I always tell my viewers, right, if Python is going to be your first language, first programming language, then definitely your journey is going to be very long lasting. But Pratham, as you have introduced, like you have your hands on with C++ as well, right? As you told. So
Hmm.
if you have started your programming journey, like the starting point would have been C++ rather than Python, so would have it interested you the same way as Python has done?
Yeah, so that's a good question. The I guess C++ is a much more verbose. It's a much more difficult, as in the syntax is more difficult to read and understand than Python. So, uh, it would have been hard to start. Python definitely kept my interest. But yeah, I think both are great program languages. I always tell, learn the language according to what you want to build, right? So in Android development, it's basically Linux and kernels and stuff like that. So for that, I uh, to read that code, I had to understand how C++ works. So that's why I learned C++. If you want to do machine learning, then you should learn Python. Or if you want to make websites and do web development, then you should learn JavaScript. So but yeah, choose as per your interest, and I think, you know which is why I recommend Python, because it's the easiest to understand. It has lots of use cases.
Exactly. I totally agree with you, Pratham. And I can summarize it if you correct me if I am wrong, right? So that your
Mhm.
starting point can be easy point, like you should be picking up something easy. But after that, you cannot bound your skill set to certain programming language that I would be doing everything in Python, right? You should be open so that as you are required, like as you encounter the problems, you should be able to learn new things, right? You should not be bounding the skill set, right? Am I correct?
Very true. Very true. Very true. Yeah. So you have to be like, according to the problem that you want to solve, you have to adapt to a new language. That's kind of what I learned over this time. But yeah, definitely I agree with what you said. Yeah.
Exactly. So Pratham, because like मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि ना you have been young, right, into develop interest in programming. Generally what happens when we used to teach programming to kids, right, what happens, 60 to 70% of the students does not go beyond certain level, right? They drop it over there. The reasons could be many,
Mhm.
right, it might not interest them. But the thing is, I would love to ask you one thing, like do you think there is an advantage, like advantage to the people who have started programming who are at a very young age, very early age? So does it have any advantage?
Yeah, so as you said, programming is not easy per se. Matlab, as you as you progress, you will understand it can be very frustrating at times, and it can be very difficult to learn these concepts. And sometimes you just want to give up. But I guess the benefits of starting programming early is, if you have an interest in it, is that uh, like you can do a lot of things earlier than most people. You can so the things that you'll probably learn in college, you can probably learn that before you even get into college. So that way, let's say you want to do an internship or something, that in college you'll be better prepared for it, or something that or and other than that, starting early, it just allows you to build the things that you wanted to. And it's a very good side hobby to have, in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, if you have an interest in it, and then you should definitely start early. But I always tell parents that, let's say if someone is not really interested in programming, it's not the only career option in the world. Like, you can do lots of different things. Just try to figure out what you like the best, and just focus on that. So for me, that was programming, because I love computers and tech. So which is why I'm still in. But yeah, that's what I think personally.
Exactly. I agree. Like it depends on your interest, right? If it interests you, then you should definitely go into it, right? Otherwise, there are different options you should be exploring for, those options which are available, right? So the thing
Yes,
is,
very true. Yeah.
because you have been doing programming since your school, right? So does it take any extra effort, like how did you manage, right? Because it becomes a very big question mark for the parents, right? Whether they should move their childs, put their childs into certain things, and with that there is a fear also that might not the percentage goes down, right? The marks not goes down. So there has been a pressure, right? Marks matters for the parents. So how a student should, like, any guidelines from your side, how the student should manage, or how you have managed this programming passion with the school course curriculum?
Yeah, that's also a very good question. Of course, it's very tough to manage studies as it is as a student, and then if you add coding, it will be even tougher. But uh, what I, of course, your marks and grades are important. So what I generally tell the people to do is treat it as a side hobby instead of a full time thing that you're going to do. So uh, just just try to explore it one by one. You don't have to learn the entire, you don't have to become a programming master in like one day. It takes a lot of time and consistent effort, and a lot of things you just figure it out as you go, as you learn. So you just have to, it all comes down to time management. Honestly, I'm terrible at it personally, so I won't give much advice onto that. But generally, what I see in a lot of my friends is they will, maybe finish their school studies and stuff, and their things for the day, and then if they have any time remaining, they will, start programming or whatever. So it's like, after you complete all your priorities, you can do the programming thing. You will learn a bit slower, but your school study should not get affected because of programming. But then if you're like really passionate about it, you just have to find time for it, in my opinion. It's like, when you like something so much, then you find time for it somehow.
Yes.
Anyway, so that's what I think.
Right, right, right. I agree, because you have to keep it as a hobby, and it is very constructive hobby, I must say. So if you like playing some sport, could be the hobbies, right? But this could, playing with the programming languages, playing with the codes, can be another hobby option, right? Which will
Mhm.
lead you to enhance like, which will give you better options when it comes to a career as well, right? So, and it can lead a path for entrepreneurship also, where you are able to implement your ideas, right? If you are able to, if certain ideas come to your mind, and if you're able to implement them through certain codes, certain softwares, then it opens a path for entrepreneurship as well. So I do agree with you, right,
Yeah, and
Pratham?
then like when it's just like any other hobby, like painting or learning how to play an instrument, it can be a very rewarding hobby as well. So like if you build this web app, and it gives a really good feeling to you. So it's like, uh and it actually forces you to think a lot when you're programming. So I mean, yeah, it's all around great hobby. It can be a bit stressful at times. I won't deny that, but it can also be very rewarding if you take it the right way.
Totally agree with you, Pratham. Totally agree with you. So, guys, you need to note these points, right? Because might be beneficial for you when you are thinking of choosing the programming career at very early stage, right? Next is like
Mhm.
a very uh, uh, curiosity out of my thing. Like, I've seen that you have been very active on Twitter, right? And like, you interact with a lot of people, right? You interact with on Twitter. You are very, very, very highly active on Twitter, right? So is there any opportunity, like, have you figured out that this thing of yours, this activity of yours, where you are being very active on Twitter, like, helped you to fetch certain opportunities, like, because of uh, this Twitter thing, like, having very good Twitter
Yeah,
profile?
so Twitter's been very rewarding. So I just I actually joined Twitter with no intention of posting anything or building a community or something like that. But um, in the end, what I realized is that there's a really good tech community here that you can interact with, and you can share a lot of knowledge, ask for help or just collaborate. There's lots of cool stuff here. So I started posting and interacting with people, and yeah, now I am here. I made lots of friends on Twitter. I've gotten an like a job, a research fellowship, which I'm doing right now at AI Crowd. And other than that, I have also gotten a few freelance offers for content creation and other things like that. So, and yeah, those are some of the opportunities I've had.
Great.
And then, of course, I've gotten to collaborate with Geeks for Geeks and many other YouTube channels, and I've been invited to some podcasts. So yeah, that's mostly what uh, I've gotten through Twitter.
That's fine. That's really great, because generally what happens when we talk about these social sites now, so people keep parents tell us like there are certain disadvantages. Like we also know that they are consuming time, but if they are rewarding
Mhm.
in such a great way, right, we can convert the investment of time in such a rewarding way that would be very beneficial. And I hope it will help our audience to figure out some constructive ways, some uh, opportunities out of their social platforms, right? They will think of
Mhm.
it when you
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
they will
definitely. Like you can do
learn about
some
it.
great things online. Yeah.
Yes. So like I would love to, like I know that I've seen the profile of yours, right, and it is very very amazing, right? I would love to tell you like you should be sharing your experience, like achievements and the milestones with our audience as well.
Achievements and milestones. I mean, I'm doing the internship right now. That was, I believe, an achievement, and the fact that I've been able to connect through to 80,000 people on Twitter, that is also a very big achievement in my opinion.
Like,
And
have I heard it correct? 80,000?
yes, 80,000. Yes.
Oh, that's really great, and it's a great
Yeah.
achievement, man. Achievement.
And then other than that, I've gotten good grades this year in my school, 95%. So that was pretty good. And then other than that, I've been able to pay my school fees for the next 2 years by myself, and I've
Wow.
also gotten a new computer because I was using a 5-year-old laptop before that, so it was a little bit hard to get work done. And yeah, like so yeah, I mean that's those are some of the achievements. And then now I'm trying to become self independent, and maybe fund my college, what do you say, college degree by myself. And yeah, that's some of the good stuff
It gives
that's
it might give you a great feeling, right? When we talk about, I can feel that, like when you say that I'm paying my
yeah.
school fees on my own, right? It is a very good feeling inside, right? That you have started earning, right? I must say earning, because earnings are like a very different thing, but that is
Hmm.
a rewards actually, that you get to construct how to have hobbies, very constructive hobbies, right? So when you have very
Hmm.
constructive hobbies, so you know that yes, you are doing good, and actually you are into implementation. You have seen that how things are implemented, so you will be a very
Hmm.
good problem solver. Like you will be when it comes to projects, you would not be faking your teachers, you would be doing real projects, right? Once you have implemented things, so again the path goes easier and easier and wider, right? The opportunities, the more and more opportunities are open for you. So like I'm really happy to listen these things from you, right? um, I hope our audience also might finding those things very fruitful. So one question is like, because you have been through very structured way, right? You were able to explore things out of on your own, right? But many of us, like the students, men, like 90% of the students, if I talk, they need certain guidelines, they
Hmm.
need certain roadmaps which they can follow, right? So it would be great if you can share some type of roadmap, some type of path to
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
students so that they can start from the scratch, from the very beginning?
Okay, so the first thing I generally tell most of my friends and other people from a non-technical background who want to learn how to code is find something interesting that you want to build. So let's say you want to build a game or a website, or you want to make a machine learning model or something like that. So first try to identify what you want to do, and then pick a language that's suited for that problem. So, for if you want to make a website, I will tell you to learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you want to learn how to make machine learning models, I'll tell you to learn Python, scikit-learn, and TensorFlow, and things like that, and so on and so forth. So, for game development, I'll tell you to learn C++ or C Sharp. So, first find what you're passionate about and what you want to solve problems with, and then find the language that you that's suited for that, and then just try to search for a good tutorial and try to build things with the things that you've learned from the tutorial itself. That way you will be able to build something that you actually like and you wanted to, and you will feel, you'll feel like small achievements. You'll get small dopamine hits that, okay, I wanted to make an app, I made this button, this looks really cool, so now, maybe I can add some more features to my app. I can uh, maybe make the entire app myself. So just when you go into that slow and steady learning and progression, and you build things that you love, it's a very rewarding feeling. And that's basically, what I tell most of the people, how to learn how to basically code and stuff like that. And yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. And make sure that you actually work on practical things instead of just uh, revising the basics again and again and not building anything, because I've done that mistake, and it does not help you in any way, and it just you just keep on repeating the same things again and again.
Exactly. I do agree. I do agree with you in the on this as well. Because the thing is, you need to figure out the which point to start, right? The different fields, which point interest you. Either it could be
Hmm.
web development, it could be app development, it could be backends, right? It could be simple logo designing as well, right? It could be anything. What interests you, you need to figure this out, right? And after that, you can look for the resources for that field, right? You need to explore the resources in that particular field only,
Hmm.
right? And
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
the most important thing that you told is you need to implement things, right, rather than revising the concepts.
Hmm. Yeah, true that. So that's basically the point. The point is to just get the work done. Like, you want to build an app, it doesn't matter, like, use the programming language that's best for it and just build it. Don't focus too much on the tools that you're using. Just try to solve a problem is what I'm always try to tell my
Exactly,
like
exactly.
whoever I'm recommending it to. Yeah.
So that's the correct thing, like the best thing that could be advised, or this could be the best answer to the question, right? Okay. So I would love you to tell something about, like, what this DSA scholarship test that Geeks for Geeks is conducting on 7th of August, right? So it would be great if you can give some idea about DSA scholarship test from Geeks for
Yeah,
Geeks.
so I was reading up about it, and so basically, for students from grade ninth to through to 12th, you have an opportunity to participate in a contest where you can, where it will be a 2 hour competition where you have to solve problems, and based on whoever scores the most in these problems, the top 20 students will be given 100% scholarship. And yeah, I think that's really cool. It's really cool to see that Geeks for Geeks is supporting a lot of the younger coders and stuff. And this will be held on 7th August from 4 p.m. IST to 6 p.m. IST. And uh, yeah, you will also get a 10% scholarship on basically any Geeks for Geeks course. And I found that really cool. So that's what the DSA competition is about. And I think you will find a link in the live stream where you can participate in the DSA scholarship test. So, make sure and, go ahead and subscribe for that.
Exactly, exactly. So I hope you like the idea of DSA scholarship, like why we have started this thing, and uh, so that's all, Pratham. Like, it was really great discussing things with you, because generally what happens, why we have conducted this session, is the reason for that is because people are actually confused about whether what is the correct age to start programming, right? Because when you see in the whole media, you will see they are saying we are being told that the student should start learning programming from fourth, fifth, right? And from these lower grades as well. But the question is this the right thing to do, right? Playing with the students, like playing with the kids career, is the right thing, or
Hmm.
wrong thing? But seeing you, I hope they will change their mind. They will be able to plan their path, right? If Pratham can do, they would be trying to become the next Pratham, right? I hope your ideas, your
Do,
concept, your suggestions.
don't become the next Pratham, become the next yourself.
Exactly, exactly. But see, when you see your role models, na, your role models fascinates you. You want to be your role models, and then when you try to follow them, you can be better than them as well, right? Am I
Yeah,
right?
sure. I mean, yeah, definitely. I was being more sarcastic, but yeah, cool. Yeah, just find what you really love, and just focus on it. I mean, that's all I can say. Yeah.
Exactly. What happens is, you like the people like you give the path to thousands of people, right? They were able to take their decisions whenever they're confused. They will be able to decide, yes, there is a person who has achieved these things, right? And this is the correct way. So you people are the initiators. I must say, Pratham is an initiator who has shown the path to many people, and have like provided the decisive power, right? So that they can, like, the parents can also be free, that they can also put their kids into coding workshops and coding fields, right? I hope that will help our audience, the parents, the kids, to uh, to decide, right, whether they should start their programming career or not at this small age. But yes, I can assure you that it is going to be very, very rewarding if you give it a try, right? You should give it a try. After talking to Pratham, I really feel like this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just give it a try if you love it. Focus on it, and just yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So, Pratham, it was really nice talking to you, and it is really inspiring and motivating also. Thank you. Thank you for your so valuable time, right? And I
Thanks for
know,
having me here. My pleasure. Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye bye. So, guys, this was Pratham, and you might have heard to him, like, you can see the confidence, you can see the presentation, right? This all could be yours if you can be working on implementation rather than just cramming the concepts. This is the only difference that these people, these initiators have made. They have cleared your path, they have cleared your decisions, you have got the right direction, they have told you the right direction, right? And you should be following them. I can be assured, I can assure you that following these types of role models can lead you to be a successful path also, right? So, guys, again, summarizing you about the DSA scholarship test, that it has been like we have started a course at Geeks for Geeks. First step to DSA, right? DSA stands for Data Structures and Algorithms, where we teach about the core concepts of programming to you, right? And we have conducted a test, a scholarship test of it on 7th of August, which is from 4 to 6, right? You can participate in it, and you want more details, you can go to our website geeksforgeeks.org, where you can find the details of it. You can register for it, and if you are in top 20, right, it will contain basic aptitude questions and certain logical questions. And if you are able to be in top 20, you will get 100% scholarship. And to participants also, there are certain rewards to all the participants as well. And if you think you should be the next Pratham, you should participate in these contests and try it. I don't want you to be in these fields. First, just give it a try. And again, as Pratham told, that if you find it interests you and if you find your interest in it, right, then definitely you should be exploring for more options. That's all from Geeks for Geeks. This is Piyush Khandelwal saying you goodbye. Thank you guys. Thank you very much.